Head over to miniaturemarket.com where there's thousands of board games at discounted prices like Whale Riders. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. You're about to see my Allegro 1-minute overview and final thoughts. This is designed to see if this game warrants more of your time. If it does, just keep watching because then you'll see my full intro overview and final thoughts. However, if you don't want to be spoiled anything and you want to skip right to the full review, use the time index below in YouTube. In Whale Riders, you're going to be taking one of your Whale Riders, going on the water, collecting goods, buying them with money, and then fulfilling contracts for more money and points, which are pearls. You'll be moving your Whale Rider down towards the coast, and you're stopping at spots and paying a certain amount of coins to get certain goods, like 3 for this wild. Sometimes they're refilling with other goods, other times they're filling with ice, which essentially clogs up this column for the rest of the game. Because when other people come and get things, these are going to slide up and eventually that might get completely full of ice storms. So you're constantly fighting with others with different types of goods and prices. But you're also fulfilling contracts from your hand, like gaining 4 coins and 4 points for turning these tiles in, like wilds and things, to fulfill that contract. So it's sort of a race because when you get to the end, you turn around and start going back in the other way, but you're still fighting over the goods. And it can be tense towards the end because you're buying these pearls for coin, which are essentially points, and once these all gone, the game's over. Whoever has the most points from their contracts and these is the winner. And there's also advanced variants giving you goals to race for that are public, and super powerful special abilities. Whale Riders has beautiful Vincent Dutrait art, simple mechanisms but tough choices, deciding when to stay put or when to move forward to beat people to different things. Maybe you're wasting time to getting coins and cards, hoping others will buy things up where you're at, bringing out things that you might be able to need. Maybe you're trying to race forward to get all the way back to buy a bunch of pearls, or maybe you're staying back and trying to finish a bunch of cards. Different strategies that can bring you in different ways, and regardless of how you play this game differently than others, it's always going to come down to a couple of points. The advanced variants are awesome. Always play with them unless you're playing with kids or brand new gamers. On the negative side of things, no player aids, didn't come with any bags for storage, and it's no longer available in North America due to some legal issues, so I had to buy this one from Europe. But overall, set collection Reiner Knizia, quick and easy. If you like that, this is a solid one. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going to be on whales, riding them through the ocean, going to different ports, gathering goods, fulfilling contracts, getting money and pearls. This is a Reiner Knizia set collection game. Let me show you how it's played. I'll see you on the other side. You are going to be one of these Whale Riders going on the ocean and collecting different goods of different tiles and then fulfilling contracts. Like you can spend all these to get this. It's a little bit of waste because you only needed 1, but you have to spend 2. But when you do this, you're going to be getting some coins, which will allow you to buy more goods later, but you're going to get pearls, which are points at the end of the game. At the beginning of the game, you're going to start way over here, and over the course of the game, you're going to be moving down, grabbing goods, and when you get to the end, you're going to turn around and work your way back. And that's going to be pretty much the end of the game as you get towards that. So on your turn, you have 2 actions that you can do. One of the things you can do is move 1. That's 1 action. I could move again as well, and that'd be both of my actions. But when I'm here, let's say I'm there, I can take anything here for free, or spend 1 coin, 2 coins, or 3 coins to get these different goods. Now, coins are these tokens that are given throughout the game. You actually start with 3 of these, but like for example, I could have moved 1 and had, you know what, I'll just take this for free. That's 1 point because each pearl in this game is a point. Now, at the end of your turn, this will refill, which means everything gets a little cheaper that people have seen. And then from this bag, this nice little bag, you'll draw a tile. Now, most of the times it's going to be another type of a good. However, there are some ice storm tiles, a certain amount depending on the amount of players. This essentially just clogs up that spot, which means as players get more and more things from a certain spot, more and more of these are going to come out. It's going to be less advantageous because there'll be less choices there. Then it'll be the next player's turn. So maybe we're a little further. Let's say it's our turn again. I'm like, you know what? I really want this one for free. That's 0. And then I'll spend 2 for my second action to get this, which essentially is a wild good. That's great. All these slide up. and 2 new tiles will come out. And it looks like, as we're sitting here, there's another player here. This one's going to be waiting like, oh great, something came up that I really wanted, or maybe not. Maybe they'll move forward. Now, since these cost coins, for an action you can just take a coin. So you might be completely broke and go, I'm going to take a coin, and for my second action I'll spend that coin to get the wild. So taking a coin is one thing. On a turn, you can fulfill one of your contracts. You start with 3 of these cards, and at the end of your turn, you'll always draw back up to 3, so you have 3 different contracts that you're working on. And like this one, I could have spent all of these. Now, this one only needed 1, but I have 2. Same for these, so you sort of like are wasting. It's not that efficient here. You could have done that, but it probably wouldn't have been the best thing. But if so, you would discard these tiles out of the game. You'd get 4 coins, which will help you buy more goods later, and you'll be getting 4 points at the end of the game. But you could have spent maybe just these 2, because this just needs 4 goods of any type. I've got 4, give me 4 coins and a point. Or maybe this one's 5 tiles of any kind. I could spend these, get 2 coins and 5 points. And some of them are a lot harder to get, like this one, for example. Now, another action you could take is, again, you'll have a hand of 3 at the beginning of your turn. You can discard as many of these as you want and draw back up that many that you've discarded. You'll never have more than 3 unless you have a special ability. So that's a way to kind of get new contracts if you're sort of stuck. Now again, once you get here, you can continue to take things, or you're going to turn around, and as you move next time, you're going to be going in this direction. But if these 2 rail riders are coming this way and this one's coming this way, well, this player knows that they're going to be getting to these next. They might take things that they think they need, but you know, those contracts are secret, so you might not quite know, but you are fighting over these resources. Now, when you get to the end, you can fulfill contracts. You can take coins, but you can also spend to get these pearls. This one's worth 7, but it's worth 3 points. But if you're the only one here and other players were going too slow, on your turn you'd be like, hey, I'm going to spend 1, I'm going to spend 2, I get both of these. But guess what? Then they're going to slide up like this, and they're going to be cheaper. Now the one that has 3 is only worth 5. Well, you know what? You're like, hey, you know what? They're not quite here yet, so I'll buy this one for 1 and this one for 2. These slide up. Let's say this player ended up getting really close. You're like, oh, I don't want them to come buy this. I'll buy this one for 3. As soon as these are bought, that's the end of the game. You count up all your pearls from here and all the pearls from all the contracts that you've gotten. Whoever has the most points is the winner. Now there's 2 advanced variants. One of them, there's 6 tiles. You only randomly use 4 of them, and they're sort of like races to goals. Like this one, if you're the first one to have 8 coins, you just get to take this, and it's worth 2 points at the end of the game. If you're the first one to get to all the way to the end, where you turn around, you'd get 2 points. Here, if you fulfilled 3 contracts first, you'd get 3 points, and things like that. Now, there's another advanced variant. This gives you a special ability. At the beginning of the game, you'll be drafting these in reverse turn order, but you only get to select from the first 3. Like this player, if they take this, they'll get to have a hand of 6 cards, and they'll start with 6 instead of 3, giving you many more options for contracts. If they took this, then the next player in reverse turn order gets to choose from these 3. Like this one is, anytime you do a contract, you can use 1 less good. This one is, if it's 1 good on the 0, 1, or 2 space, it's free. This one I had last game, it was really good. This one allows you to move, your first movement is free. So essentially you can move 2 spaces for just 1 action like that. So these things are really cool. They all feel overpowered, but they're all unique, and they make each game feel a little bit different for you. All right, Whale Riders, let's talk about what I like first. This game obviously has beautiful Vincent Dutrait art, because that's all he knows how to do. It looks fantastic. You know, he's done a decent amount of games now with Reiner. The most recent one, I think, well, Yellow and Yangtze was one as well. Love that duo between Knizia and Dutrait, and it just looks really beautiful. This game has simple mechanisms, but even how simple it is to teach, there's tough choices in the game, and I like that. Good amount of depth with not a lot of complexity. You're either staying put or moving forward. And that's often, sounds like such an easy choice, but it's not so easy, because you're looking at what all the other players are doing. You're looking at what's there, you're looking at what you might need to grab, you're looking at your fulfillment contracts, you're looking at what goods you already have, and it's like, ooh, should I stay here and get this thing? Or should I just go to that next port, or even 2 over, because that's exactly what I need, but then I'm moving down a little bit faster. Do I want to stay here and let somebody else buy some stuff, and maybe some things come out that I need? So even just deciding whether to stay put and move forward is a tough choice in this game. And you're getting coins or cards, hoping for resources the next turn, because you might be sitting there and being like, you know what, there's no ice in this one here, and there's nothing really that I really need in the next 2 ports. So I'm just gonna sit here, I'll take a coin, and I'll discard some cards and get some new ones, because those ones aren't that great anyways. And guess what? Somebody else might buy something where you're sitting, bringing out something that you want, and you're gonna be able to get it before they do. So it's like lots of little subtle things here, but they all work well together. I love that you're trying to sometimes either race forward or stay back, depending on your strategy. Racing forward definitely helps, because you know what you're gonna get if you're the first one down there. It's all, you know, the world's your oyster. You can get whatever you want. But if you stay back, it still might be better, because you might just be able to get the things that you need staying back slowly. So again, another tough thing to do. Sometimes you're going to be trying to finish many cards, or maybe you're going to try to race towards the end and buy all the pearls at the end.
In the last game of this we played, I stayed quite far behind because I had a really good ability to allow me to get a lot of goods. So I was fulfilling a lot of cards. I actually fulfilled a handful of more cards than everyone else, but the person that raced back and won the pearls ended up beating us by like 1 point because they were able to get all of them themselves. But again, good differences, and we played the game very differently, and the game always comes down to just a couple of points. It's very balanced, and what else would you expect from a Dr. Reiner Knizia game? It has the advanced variant, which I highly recommend, unless you're playing with kids or people that have not played anything other than Uno. Throw in the advanced variants. They add so much more fun without a whole lot of complexity. You know, hey, race to be the first one to get 8 coins. Race to be the first to have 3 things done. That's cool. It changes your strategy. Now it's like, oh, I want to get done a couple of these quick things and get that bonus before anybody else does. But then also those special abilities. Oh man, that's awesome, because they all are kind of like overpowered, broken, but they're all like that. So they're not really, right? They're all, in reference to each other, they're all just very powerful. And every time you play the game, you take a different one of these, you really are gonna have a different strategy, makes you think of it differently, and again, not a lot of complexity, but man, it really adds a lot. Always play with the advanced abilities unless you're playing with kids or people that haven't played these types of games before. On the negative side of things, no player aid. Really wish they would have had it. Sure, there's only a few things you can return for things, but it'd be nice for player aid for new players. Did not come with any bags for storage, which was kind of weird because there's tons of little things in here. Sure, you keep most of them in the bag, like the little tokens, but you get the people, you get the coins, you get the cards, you get the lots of stuff, no bags. So my game was a mess for a while until I finally put some stuff in some bags. Another negative is I had to buy this game and import it from Europe because there's some sort of legal thing going on between Grail Games and Reiner Knizia, so they're no longer able to sell this currently in North America. So it's a game that's really hard to get, and that's a negative too. I had to buy it from overseas, so that's a negative as well. But that's pretty much it. If you like Reiner Knizia games, you like sort of tension-filled, quick things with fast pacing, takes 45-ish minutes, 30 to 45 minutes to play, but feels like you've played a full game. You like set collection, you like fighting with others about stuff. This is a good one, really good, solid one. Whale Riders.
Game Toppers not only transforms your existing table to a high-quality gaming solution, they now offer full leg kits and dining cover solutions for the full table application. Paired with their amazing, thematic, premium stitch edge mats from noted board game artists like Vincent Dutrait, collapsible cup holders, and really cool accessories, it's a complete system that upgrades every game you play. Go to GameToppersLLC.com or click the link below to late pledge for their latest Game Topper 3.5 Kickstarter campaign.